Hey everyone! Welcome to Update X24H, your go-to channel for the latest news, hottest dramas, breaking stories, and all the buzz from the world of entertainment. We're here to keep you updated, entertained, and always in the loop. Hit that subscribe button and join our growing family. Because here at Update X24H, we bring you the news that matters, the drama you love, and the stories you can't miss. Thanks for being part of our community. Let's stay connected, stay updated, and keep the good vibes rolling.
Imagine winning the most important award of your entire career, only to not be there when your name is called. Last night, the entertainment world held its breath when Zhao Lusi, one of China's brightest stars, was announced as most popular artist of 2025. But instead of stepping onto the stage in dazzling style, her seat remained empty. And then, in a moment that no one expected, fellow star Liu Yuning walked forward to accept the honor on her behalf. Under the bright lights of the Gala Awards 2025, the evening was meant to celebrate achievement, glamour, and the triumph of hard work. Zhao Lusi, adored by millions, had been widely expected to shine brighter than anyone else that night. Industry insiders spoke of a red carpet entrance that could have marked her most memorable appearance to date, while fans traveled from across the country hoping to witness their idol's crowning moment. Every sign pointed toward a career-defining celebration. Yet when her name was called and the cameras turned, the scene that unfolded was not one of joy, but of confusion. The chair reserved for her remained empty, and in that instant the air in the room seemed to change completely. A wave of whispers spread across the audience, and the energy shifted from the thrill of celebration to an undercurrent of disbelief. The absence was not just noticed, it was impossible to ignore. The Gala Awards has always been a place where artists step into the spotlight, where the culmination of an entire year of dedication is recognized in front of peers, fans, and the global media. To see that moment vanish for one of the industry's brightest stars felt almost surreal. Her absence quickly overshadowed the spectacle of the evening. The carefully arranged choreography of the event, the dazzling stage lights, the poised presenters, the rehearsed camera angles, suddenly seemed disjointed. Reporters who had prepared to capture her acceptance speech instead scrambled to record the stunned reactions of the audience. Photographers who had anticipated her radiant presence found themselves focused on an empty seat that, within minutes, became the most photographed object in the room. What should have been a night of triumph for Zhao Lusi became a night of questions for everyone else. Why was she not there? What could have prevented her from attending an event of such magnitude? The shock was intensified by the knowledge that her win was historic. She had outpaced long-established names, securing an overwhelming margin of votes from fans and critical acclaim from professionals. The award symbolized not only her popularity, but also her growing influence across the industry. And yet the woman at the center of it all was missing, turning victory into a mystery that left the audience unsettled. Instead of applause echoing with joy, the night carried an air of uncertainty, reminding everyone how fragile even the most carefully crafted moments of stardom can be. When Liu Yuning finally stepped onto the stage, carrying the weight of both the glittering trophy and the expectations of thousands watching, the mood inside the hall shifted once again. He was not the one the audience anticipated, and yet at that moment he became the center of the story. His expression revealed a quiet storm of emotions, pride, tension, and perhaps even worry. With the spotlight fixed on him, he took a deep breath before speaking, his voice steady but carrying an undertone of vulnerability. The words he chose were careful, deliberate, yet undeniably moving. He reminded the world of Zhao Lusi's dedication, her tireless work throughout the year, and the joy she had brought to millions. But then he paused, and with a subtle change in tone, he delivered the phrase that would echo across every social platform. She could not be there because of circumstances beyond her control. It was a statement so simple yet so loaded with meaning that the entire room seemed to freeze. In that pause, in the tremor of his voice, speculation began to grow. Was it illness, was it conflict, or was it something even more dramatic? People leaned forward in their seats, straining not just to hear his words but to interpret them, to find clues in his expression, in the way his hands trembled slightly as they held the trophy. The traditional rhythm of an award show acceptance speech was shattered. Instead of celebration, the atmosphere was filled with questions and the heavy silence of uncertainty. As he continued, his composure returned, but the emotional undercurrent never left. His tribute to her achievements was heartfelt, his pride in her accomplishments genuine, but the unspoken truth hung over every sentence. What could have possibly kept Zhao Lusi away from this stage, away from a moment that every artist dreams of? By not naming the reason, Liu Yuning transformed his speech into something larger than an acceptance. It became a puzzle, a spark that set the imagination of millions alight. Within moments, the internet would seize upon those carefully chosen words, replaying them endlessly, dissecting every nuance. What should have been a night defined by victory had now become a night defined by mystery, and Liu Yuning's role as both messenger and guardian of that mystery made his presence unforgettable. The silence that followed Liu Yuning's words did not last long. Within moments, the emptiness left by Zhao Lusi's absence spilled far beyond the walls of the award hall and into the boundless world of social media. Fans who had waited for weeks to see her radiant appearance now faced a wave of confusion that quickly turned into an outpouring of raw emotion. Messages of love, worry, and hope began to flood timelines at an overwhelming pace. Some fans wrote with trembling hands, confessing their deep concern for her health and safety, while others tried to steady the community with reassurances that she would soon explain. The digital world became a reflection of the audience's heartbeat, fast, uneven, and impossible to calm. Hashtags carrying her name soared to the top of trending lists in multiple countries, gathering hundreds of millions of views in just a few hours. Fan clubs began to organize virtual gatherings, lighting candles on live streams and sharing stories of how Zhao Lusi had inspired them through her roles. Strangers connected across borders, united not just by admiration for her work, but by a shared sense of uncertainty. For many, it felt less like following the news of a celebrity, and more like worrying for a close friend whose sudden absence could not be explained. The emotional intensity was magnified by the sheer contrast between what should have been and what was. Instead of seeing Zhao Lusi smile as she accepted her award, fans were left to replay Liu Yuning's trembling delivery. Instead of applause echoing in triumph, the night ended with millions of hearts echoing with questions. This clash of expectation and reality created a storm of feelings: disappointment, sorrow, pride, and even anger at the unknown circumstances that robbed her of her moment. Yet amid the worry, there was also a striking wave of unity. Messages flooded in not only from devoted Chinese fans but from admirers in Korea, Japan, Thailand, Europe, and North America. Their voices carried both heartbreak and admiration, reminding the world of the rare bond between artist and audience. It was in this collective surge of emotion that the incident transcended being a single missed appearance. It became a global moment of empathy, a reminder that stardom is fragile, and that behind the glamour stands a human being who can inspire, disappear, and still hold millions in the grip of their deepest feelings. The ripple effects went far beyond the award show. Fashion houses that had prepared custom gowns were left in silence. Beauty brands planning global campaigns had to change strategy overnight. Even stock values of companies tied to Zhao Lusi's endorsements saw unusual volatility. Meanwhile, international media, from Japan to France, from South Korea to the United States, picked up the story. It wasn't just Chinese entertainment news anymore. It became a global conversation. What makes this story even more powerful is the man who stood in her place. Liu Yuning has never publicly claimed a close friendship with Zhao Lusi, but his decision to accept the award, under such intense pressure, speaks volumes. It shows loyalty, respect, and perhaps a bond the public has yet to fully understand. Some fans now see this as a defining moment for both stars, one absent, one present, but together creating an unforgettable chapter in entertainment history. So here we are, left with burning questions. Why wasn't Zhao Lusi there? Was it personal, professional, or something bigger than anyone has dared to say out loud? And what does this moment mean for her future? And for the role Liu Yuning may play in it? One thing is certain. The Gala Awards 2025 will be remembered not just for its winners, but for the mystery that left millions talking long after the final curtain fell. If this story moved you, inspired you, or left you just as curious as the rest of us, make sure to hit that subscribe button and join us here at Update X24H. Thank you for watching, thank you for sharing your thoughts, and don't forget, this is only the beginning of a story we'll be following closely together. Stay tuned and we'll keep you updated.